What yet, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Lycos, and in this video I'm going to show you how to get the best start in Fallout 4. If you find this video useful, it would be awesome if you'd hit that subscribe button, and now let's get right into the guide. Now we're starting out here just as we leave the vault, and you're going to want to loot the little building that's next to the vault. Then after that you want to loot the yellow crates that are in the area. And you're also going to want to loot this trailer here. Once we're done with that, we're going to leave and we're going to be heading on to Sanctuary. In Sanctuary, of course, we can talk to Codsworth in order to continue the story. But before you leave Sanctuary, you want to make sure that you loot every single house. Some key things that you're going to want to be looking out for here. You're definitely going to want to get the special book that's in Sean's room. There are several safes that you want to keep an eye out for. And you especially want to loot the root cellar behind this house, because it has some very valuable items. Before we leave Sanctuary, you're going to want to drop by the workshop, activate the workshop, and then transfer all your junk into the workshop so you're not carrying all that stuff around. Now that we're done at Sanctuary, we're going to head across the bridge, start making our way towards the Red Rocket. But we're not going to go all the way to the Red Rocket. First, we're going to go to the right, up over the hill. There's some really good loot that we can get up here. There's a couple of bodies to loot, an open safe, and a couple of other useful items. After that, we're going to head towards the water tower. Around the water tower, you're going to find some purified water. And close by, there's going to be a trunk with some loot in it as well. Now we're going to head to the Red Rocket. We're going to pick up dog meat, and we're going to loot everything that's at the Red Rocket. I like to loot all of the junk items that are at Red Rocket before I leave, and then deposit them into the workshop. Once we're done here, we're going to actually head just behind the Red Rocket. There's a cave back here that's very easy to miss. It's called Mole Rat Den, and there's a couple of very good items in here. There's a few mole rats in here you're going to have to take down, nothing serious. Over here you're going to find yourself a fusion core just laying on the ground. And in the very back of the cave, you're going to find a safe that you can loot as well. Now if you're playing in survival mode, you should make sure to grab all the glowing fungus that's here, all of these little green mushrooms that are all over the cave. You need these in order to craft antidotes, and antidotes are very important in survival mode. After this, we're going to go back to the Red Rocket, we're going to pass it, and we're going to keep heading north. We're going to head down towards the water that's surrounding Sanctuary, and we're going to follow the edge of the water all the way up along until we find this piece of machinery here. You're going to open it up and you're going to activate the lever. Now for some reason I got attacked by some raiders here. I've never seen these raiders come down over this hill. I think they were chasing the red stag. Now I was going to fight these guys anyway because they're usually just up on the top of this hill. So I just got it out of the way now. You're going to be facing 3 raiders and 1 attack dog. If you're playing in normal mode like I'm playing here, these guys should be no problem. You can loot their bodies, and then we're just going to head back to that machine that we just turned off. and you'll notice a pipe that comes from it. We're going to follow that pipe up to the top of the hill. Here we're going to find a bunch of caps, a 44 pistol, and a bunch of other useful items. After this area, we're going to keep on heading north. You'll pretty quickly see that there's a giant radar dish off into the distance. We're going to be heading towards that, but a little bit to the left. And pretty soon, we're going to see a crashed vertibird. You're going to head over here to the crash, and here we can get our first power armor. Now, a very small distance away from where you're going to find the power armor, there's going to be a small duffel bag. There's some decent items in there. And then we're going to head over to the robotics disposal ground, which is very close by. If you look down over the hill, you'll see that there is a sentry bot down there. So we can go into this building. There's some decent loot in here as well. Right next to the terminal, you can also pick up this magazine, which will give you a really cool paint job to put on your power armor. And then we can use the terminal. We're going to hit the option to play the holotape. In here, we're going to be able to activate the sentry. And then once we're done that, we can go back into the same menu and initiate the self-destruct. This will of course cause the sentry bot to self-destruct, so we won't have to fight it. Now from the sentry bot, we get a couple of fusion cores and some other good items. Just down the hill where the sentry bot was, we can loot this chest to get another fusion core and some more items. And then just behind where the sentry bot was, there's going to be these rusted cars, and on top of there, you can find a Fat Man. Now if you don't know what the Fat Man is, it basically launches mini nukes. We don't have any ammo for it just yet, but luckily there's actually one mini nuke that's pretty close by. If we head back up to the building, and then right next to where we came through the fence, we'll find a mini nuke lying on the ground. At this point, we have gotten a great head start in the game, and I recommend that you just head on to Concord. You're going to take out the raiders, go in and talk to Preston. Don't forget to get the bobblehead that's on the desk here. We're going to take out the rest of the raiders, and of course we're going to get attacked by the Deathclaw. When I'm fighting the Deathclaw, I like to get into the building right next to where the Deathclaw comes out of the ground. This gives you some pretty good cover. So once this whole thing is done, of course Preston and the gang are going to head to Sanctuary. I highly recommend that you loot everything in Concord. You can get some good stuff here. I usually get my character right next to being overburdened before I head down the road towards Diamond City. You'll find Trash Can Carla along the way. She's a traveling merchant, so you can sell some things to her if you want. Then we're going to continue on down the road to the diner. We're going to deal with the situation there, and then we're going to be able to sell our stuff to the vendors. If you're able to end this situation peacefully, you'll get 100 extra caps, and then you'll have an extra vendor here that you can sell stuff to. So at this point, we've gotten some really good loot, and we're off to a great start in Fallout 4. If you guys want to see how to get the best legendary weapons early on in the game, you can check out the video that's on the screen right now. Thank you all for watching. Don't forget to hit that like button, and as always, stay where you're at, and I'll come where you're too. Later, everyone.